From colorful celebrations to stories of faith, family, and tradition, it's a month to honor history and heritage.
That's right. Today we're shining a light on the people and culture that, of course, make East Texas so vibrant. Hola, bienvenidos. We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month right here on CBS19. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Nayeli Carrillo. From music and food to family and art, we're sharing the stories that bring that heritage to life.
That's right, Nayeli. We've got a great show coming up for our viewers, from the local artist and those traditions that keep all that tradition alive, to the flavors, the sound, the story, so much to celebrate right here in our community and our culture. And of course, we'll show you first the crowns, the colors, and we'll take you inside an East Texas quinceañera and the meaning behind this timeless tradition.
We'll also introduce to you an East Texas family that turned a simple fruit shop into a celebration of faith, family, and Hispanic heritage. And get ready for the music and the movement. Mariachi and Folklorico bring the spirit of Hispanic heritage to our studio. Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to recognize the culture, traditions, and the impact of Hispanic and Latino communities across the country, including right here in East Texas. Jesus, what is this month all about?
Well, Nayeli, let me tell you, October marks the second half of Hispanic Heritage Month. It's a time to celebrate the rich culture, the history, and the contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans. Now, the celebration begins each year on September 15th. It coincides with the Independence Day of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, followed by Mexico and Chile. It's also a month to recognize nationwide, from our classrooms to city halls, honoring generations who have shaped our communities through art, music, science, politics, and even community service. Now, here in East Texas, you'll find festivals, parades, and storytelling events that spotlight local Hispanic heritage, reminding us that Hispanic history is part of American history. And it's also a month of celebration and a reminder that Hispanic history, of course, is prominent all over. And by the way, Hispanic Heritage Month runs through October 15th. Nayeli, what do you got next?
Jesus, I got the chance to go to a very unique event. Bull riders put on a show and the arena turned into a literal dance floor. I spoke to vendors, including a bull handler, about what events like these mean to the Hispanic community. The festival combines a family cookout with traditional Mexican-style rodeo and live music. Organizers say the event was months in the making, but worth the stress to see families enjoy a Sunday out together.
It's a completely family-friendly event. We have games here, raffles for the kids. It's something you can spend the weekend with your kids, your husband, or your wife. It's something family-oriented that's rarely seen here in East Texas.
Sanchez says bringing the event to life was more than just the planning, but showcasing the culture.
Well, being Hispanic for me is a real source of pride. Being able to bring Mexican tradition to the people. Being able to bring Mexican music with original groups to stir the ground, ranch style.
Something that is for sure stirring up the dirt is the bulls. Unlike traditional rodeos focused on horse events, the jaripeo centers around bull riding, an extreme sport where riders face animals weighing up to 1,000 pounds.
Here it is a little more dangerous because the riders risk their lives on the back of an animal.
My job title is just making sure that the animals get here safe, sound, ready to work, so make sure that everybody here is safe and has a good time.
Diaz works with Castillo Bucking Bulls, one of the livestock providers for the jaripeo, and says that events like these are a way to stay connected to a lifelong tradition.
I mean, this is my life. This is what I've done since I was a child, what I've always wanted to do. I rodeoed a few years ago. I gave that up whenever I started having kids, and now this is the only way that I could get back into, what I love to do, just kind of working events like this.
While safety remains a priority, it wouldn't be a carne asada without the food. Tacos, quesadillas, and aguas frescas at the ready.
If you're at home right now, put your boots on, get your cowboy hat on, and get down here.
Sweet bread, sweet memories, and a sweet legacy. We take you inside a Tyler bakery that's been a cultural cornerstone for the entire community.
I can smell the bread already. Well, before Texas was Texas, Spanish soldiers, Mexican settlers, and a single road laid out foundation for this East Texas town, the history of Nacogdoches and the Hispanic heritage that shaped it. After the break. All right, welcome back. East Texas is full of great food and some rich traditions. On the Elliott, it also smells great.
It does. Panaderia Nuevo Leon, I don't know if you've ever been, they're keeping Hispanic heritage alive. And I got to see how this Tyler bakery is serving up both food and tradition. Tucked along Beckham Avenue, Panaderia Nuevo Leon is more than just a bakery and a neighborhood favorite. It's been a cultural cornerstone. Started by a father with a dream in 1991 and named after his home state in Mexico, the tradition is now being carried on by his children.
This is his little baby, and he tells me, I don't have $3, I have $4. This is his daughter, this is his baby.
The dream started with just churros and donuts in Aguas Frescas. Co-owner Yesenia remembers those days, saying sometimes they threw away more than they sold.
People didn't want us to open up here, but thankfully there's always God that's always to open up those, doors that people want to close.
She says after years of expansion and having East Texans on their side, they have been able to create a safe and welcoming atmosphere that reminds people of their home.
A lot of times we know the people that come in because we've seen them over and over. Some of them are people that we have seen for years.
For me, this bakery smells just like my childhood. I grew up coming to this very panaderia right after school with my family. And it's so special to see that tradition continues with other families here in our community.
Some of them come with their kids, and then later their kids come by themselves, and then later they make their own families and come in themselves. So it has been nice to see the next generation come in and get continue to follow the Mexican traditions of getting pan.
Today you'll find more than just conchas and empanadas. You'll find connection across generations and cultures.
Bring bread because it makes people feel better. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it tastes just as great. Well, when you think of Nacogdoches, you might picture its historic downtown, and the roots of the oldest city in Texas actually go back centuries to Spanish missions, Mexican settlers, and a trail that connected it all. The Mexican-Spanish influence in East Texas stretches back more than 3 centuries.
It began in 1690, which was an early part of Texas history,
to the days of missions, soldiers, and settlers traveling through Nacogdoches.
And so an expedition came and established a mission near the Neches River over by present-day Augusta, just down from Alto, Mission San Francisco de los Tejas, which was the first East Texas mission in the Spanish established.
Those missions marked the start of the Hispanic footprint in this region, and all of that was tied together by a single road.
Of course, the El Camino Real, the King's Road, ran all the way from Mexico City up to San Juan Bautista at about where present-day Eagle Pass was, then came up this way, and then ended in Louisiana over at Natchitoches.
For many, it wasn't just a road. It was their lifeline into Texas.
If you were coming out of New Spain, Mexico, you had to take the El Camino Real. This was the only way in and out.
And you can still trace that history today. Highway 21 follows the path of El Camino Real. You'll find markers like this one pointing back to the road Spaniards and Mexicans once traveled.
I'm going to say that influence that we have is more Mexican than it is Spanish. Really, these people were New World people that came up here.
By the late 1700s, Nacogdoches was one of only 2 significant Spanish towns in Texas, making it a hub, all of which are still visible in the town's historic buildings.
So welcome to the Stone Fort Museum. Our downstairs exhibit is History in Every Direction, and the reason that we have that title is because it's all about the Camino Real.
The original fort, built in 1779 by Antonio Gilibarbo, was the town's center of life. Today, its replica sits on the SFA campus as a museum.
The Spanish came up from Mexico City along the Camino Real. All of these things intersecting really in a lot of ways in Nacogdoches.
From Spaniard missions to Mexican settlers to El Camino Real, Hispanic heritage is built into every foundation of Nacogdoches, leaving a lasting mark on East Texas.
That is an amazing story. Well, get ready to roll with style. We're taking you inside a Tyler shop where lowriders aren't just cars, they're works of art. Welcome back. If you see Joel Alvarado cruising down the street, there's a good chance you'll do a double take.
Yeah, that's because what he's driving will take your attention away from whatever you're doing. Joel runs Joe's Auto Works in Tyler, where he paints and rebuilds all sorts of vehicles, including lowriders. Now, lowriders are modified cars with a lower body and custom hydraulics that literally allow them to bounce up and down. They have flashy designs and for decades have been a big part of Chicano and Mexican American culture. And Joel is part of a lowriders car club called Únicos, which translates to the only ones. The club shows off their rides at auto shows all over East Texas, and to these guys, nothing is more important than what they're rolling in.
They're basically, you can say they're basically like your baby, you know. You gotta take care of it, wash it, you know, polish it, you know, make sure nothing happens to it. Something happens, messes up, you gotta come back, fix it. You know, you can't be riding around with a scratch or a dent or, you know, or something like that. You don't want to pull up to a car show with a beat up car, you know. They're like, hey, whose junk is that over there, you know? You want to come out looking clean, you know, as flawless as you can.
Yeah, you gotta look snazzy. Joel says it can take several weeks and sometimes longer to paint a lowrider. The goal always being to be creative and be on the move with a creative piece.
For nearly 2 decades, a family-run shop in Marshall has been more than just a place to grab a few groceries. Fruteria Perlita has become a gathering spot that celebrates Hispanic culture. Owners Estefania and Jose Luis Valle named the shop after their youngest daughter, Perlita. While a traditional fruteria usually focuses on fresh produce, this store goes beyond, offering everything from chips and candy to piñatas and even shoes. The Valle family of 5 came to Marshall seeking opportunity, and they've built it here.
And I think it's great that they have a place here where they can bring that and share that with everybody else in the community.
The Valle family Fruteria Perlita isn't just a business, it's a testament to hard work and faith. And as a part of Hispanic Heritage Month, we continue to showcase the stories that matter to our East Texas community. Quinceañeras are one of the biggest celebrations. I had one in a young girl's life for Mexicans and Mexican Americans.
And they go all out. CBS19's Robert De La Garza shows us behind all that glitter and glam that you see is a whole lot of planning, pressure, I'm sure Nayeli, you know, emotions leading up to the big day.
The celebration of a girl's 15th birthday, the quinceañera, is more than just a big fiesta. It's a rite of passage, marking the moment of a girl becoming a woman.
A celebration that is unique, but a 15 unites traditions, a 15 unites families and friends.
Most importantly, my family, because I wouldn't do this without them.
It's a moment that lives forever in photos, videos, and the heart. But what most people don't see,
you need a lot of time ahead of you,
is the months, sometimes even years, of planning behind this one unforgettable day.
Just every little detail of the event makes a huge change in the day of the event.
For Rebecca Cordedo and her only daughter, Danue, it was more than a party.
And she was the first generation where she had her quince, so it was a big experience for all of us.
Rebecca missed out on her own quinceañera, so she made the promise to make Danue's day picture perfect.
I always told her that no matter how, which way, but I will get her her quince that she was dreaming of.
But a big dream comes with an even bigger price tag.
Roughly how much do you think?
We spent about $19,000.
From picking the venue and music to the gown and glittering tiara, it can be a whirlwind of excitement and stress.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
It's not easy to plan a quinceañera.
Event planner Lilia Aparicio knows this too well. She's helped plan thousands of quinceañeras.
To live in the moment, to live and be even grateful of the stress that will come, because the stress is unique.
It feels amazing. It feels like when you wear it, you feel like a princess.
And on this night, she's not just the birthday girl. She's the princess of the night. And no princess is complete without her tiara.
The crown represents that. The coronation of our girl turned into a princess, turned into the greatest thing a parent hopes will arrive.
And in the end, it's not about the cake or the price tag.
The life experiences you have on that day, throughout all the planning, and on the big day, those are days that will never be repeated in our life.
What's left are those truly unforgettable moments.
And when I saw her walking in the venue, it's the most that I remember that I will always have in my heart. And seeing her dancing with her daddy, it was one of the wonderful things I've seen. All eyes were on her that night, mainly, and that made me really, really happy.
Once the music fades and the candles burn out, it's the magic of the moment and the memories that last a lifetime. With CBS19, I'm Robert De La Garza.
That's very amazing.
And with that quinceañera, they had mariachi. You know what we've got coming up next?
Mariachi.
Yeah, get ready to add some color and rhythm to your day.
Our studio is about to come alive with live mariachi and folclórico dancers. No te vayas.
All right, welcome back. Hey, talk about a party. Look at us right now in the studio with music, color, all the energy you could want. It's all here in our studio this morning.
That's right. We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month in the best way possible with the sights and sounds of Mariachi Caporales y Ballet Folclórico Monarcas.
There we go. Yeah, these talented performers are keeping the tradition alive and giving us a taste of Mexico right here at home. So, hey, let's start with that is with Mariachi Caporales. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having us.
Of course. So, hey, tell us first about, for the people that don't know, what makes mariachi music so unique and so special?
Well, what makes it unique is where it comes from. If a lot of people don't know, but mariachi music comes from the indigenous cultures of European and Mexican cultures, correct? And what makes it distinct from, I believe, other music would be the instruments. You got a guitarrón, you got a violin, you got a vihuela, you got other violins that you could put in, or a harp. You can even put in an accordion. The trumpet plays a huge role, as well as the bass and this harmony right here.
That's awesome. Different kinds of music and elements, right? And so you guys have been together for how long? How have you guys been performing?
Well, thanks to my father, we've been around, he has kept the group around since the late 80s, early 90s, and thus he had us, and now we're keeping it alive.
That's awesome. And so obviously in mariachi, there's a lot of emotional connection to it.
Yes,
What sort of connection do you guys want to do with, people watching at home or people even listening to your music? What kind of connection do you want to have with them?
The connection is already there, I should say. It's music. Music connects to everybody, no matter the age, and I love that. And the fact that I get to do this every day, connect with the people in a way with just opening my mouth and playing my instrument, is possibly the best thing I could do.
That's awesome. And you mentioned, music and singing. What's y'all's favorite performance to do?
Our favorite performance would have to be La Bikina. It's a song that I performed on The Voice. And
it was on The Voice, y'all.
Yes. That's actually my favorite song growing up singing with my father. It's by the artist called Luis Miguel. Very, very talented artist. And I sang that song on The Voice, and we love to perform that and give the people a surprise.
That's awesome. And so obviously, we're here celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. What does it mean to you guys as a band, as a family, to have this representation of our culture out in East Texas community?
It means faith. It means respect. It means love. It means connection, as you said earlier.
That's awesome. All good things. And hey, music wouldn't be enough as it is without a performance, Nayeli, right?
Yes. Right now, I am joined by Josefina with Ballet Folclórico Monarcas. Josefina, the dresses, the movement, the storytelling. Can you tell me what region of Mexico does your performance represent?
Well, we are right now dressed as Michoacán, the center of Mexico, and we wanted to bring different states, different regions, and because traditionally Mexico has a lot of different folk dance, so the idea was to bring different dances.
So I know there's a lot of different regions, a lot of different cultures, but talking about the meaning of the dance, how do you choose which dance to perform?
I'm from Michoacán, so this one, it's for me an honor to be dressed as a folk dancer. So we have from Sinaloa, Costa, because we have a dancer which from Sinaloa. So we try to, depending on the dancers that we have, so we choose the state. So coming soon, we have San Luis Potosí because they too are from San Luis Potosí.
I'm from Zacatecas, and I don't know exactly what kind of dress or style that would be, but these costumes are stunning. How much work does it go into preparing for a show?
So we are kind of new. We started with this group almost 2 years ago, but it takes 1 year, about a year, to have a song ready. So it takes a lot of work, and we meet twice a week.
And how long have you been doing it?
I danced when I was a little girl, when I was in a school in Mexico, and then I moved here almost 17 years ago, and I never thought that I was gonna be dancing folk, but I found a group of ladies, and they were passionate about doing it, so we decided to join it, but it's been like 2 years.
Talking a little bit about what is your favorite part about performing?
My favorite part is to be with them, to be with the group, to support each other, to have fun with them, and to share our culture with the people who sees us dancing, but also with us, and seeing little younger kids wanting to do it. That's very meaningful and also fulfilling for me.
Thank you so much, Josefina. And what a perfect way to wrap up Hispanic heritage with music and dance together.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, here on Mariachi Caporales and Ballet Folklorico Maracas performing us out. Thank you so much for watching this year. And of course, we'll see you next year for Hispanic Heritage Month Special then. Y'all take it away. Woo! Thank y'all so much.
Okay.
Soy señores de Michoacán. Dios, de los más seguidores a mirarme mustios se van. Dios, con mi cuerpo una silla que es de cuero, plata y marfil. Sus pistolas al cinto para aquel que le entre a redir. Que viva mi tierra, Michoacán, y de mechanda pa' brindar. Que Juan Colorado ya se va, montando su cuento el huracán. Que viva mi tierra, Michoacán, se va, se va. Que Juan Colorado